Fenner. I'm the youth pastor at Autumn Creek. I've been the youth minister for about 5 years now, ordained pastor a couple years ago. Family and I joined the church in June 2018, so we've been coming here for 7 years now, and we love it. When I was a kid, I grew up in church. When I say Awanas, my thought is we used to wear what looked like the Boy Scout uniforms. Had troop numbers on the sleeves, and to get our badges, we had to be members of the choir or work the bus pickup line. And I could always remember church. Sunday mornings, my mom, she was the one that took me. My church was Helmer Street Baptist Church on the north side of Houston. It's still there. That's where I first was introduced, and I probably walked the aisle every time they had an altar call. I remember walking it at church. I remember walking it at youth camp, and every time it felt like I needed to do it, I did it. But we eventually left the church. Just life in general got in the way. And then probably about 7 years ago, I was coming up to my 40th birthday, and I just had chaos going on in my mind, and I couldn't make sense of anything. I came to the realization that I was being called again, and I wanted to make sure. So the only person I could think of to call was Billy. And so I didn't have his phone number. I had him on Facebook Messenger. And at the time, you could actually make a phone call on Messenger. I'm pretty sure you still can. I get accused of being old all the time, so I don't know these things. But so I called him, and his first words was, "What's going on with your mom?" Because I probably haven't talked to Billy in 15 years. And I told him, I said, I think I'm going through something right now. I think God's pulling me back, and God's trying to get my attention. And the thing that bothered me the most is it was so intense that I told Billy, I said, I feel like this is the last time. Like if I don't listen and I don't come forward this time, there won't be a next time. And that scared me to death. When you talk about the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom and knowledge, I definitely had fear of the Lord in that moment. And Billy counseled me and talked with me, and I just decided one night, I said, as I'm laying down to go to sleep, I said, tomorrow I'll take my first step towards you. The next morning I woke up to complete silence. And I've just been trying to walk in his direction every day since. And it's been fantastic. I've watched my kids come alive. My son, he plays the drums for the praise and worship team at Autumn Creek. My nieces and nephews, I've watched them come to Christ. I've stood beside my brother-in-law as they were baptized. I've baptized friends. I've watched friends, families be affected. And it has nothing to do with me. The only thing I did was obedient to the call. And knowing that I had a choice, that I didn't have to do that. I'm afraid of what would have happened had I not. And the people that I would have missed out on coming into my life. New friends, new people to fill up those gaps that I thought were there, and I wouldn't change it for the world. The thing I take away from being a member of Autumn Creek and being a part of this is it is my second home. And if I'm not at work, I'm at home. If I'm not at home or not at work, I'm at home here. And this is where the other half of my family is. It's the family we never even knew we needed. And that's probably I would say, the best quality. I've found mentors, I've found brothers, I've found people that I can laugh with. I found a whole bunch of rigged cooking competitions, but that's besides the point. But yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way. As dysfunctional as we can be at times, it truly is a family. It's just a pleasure to be serving and plugged in for a purpose. Because even though you go to work and you do your day-to-day, your 9-to-5 job, you can feel fulfilled for a moment until the next calamity happens and you have to figure that out. But it's always something. And here, the purpose and the job that is what we would perceive as the business of the church, it's worship. It's what it should be. If you're not worshiping in everything you do, there's no reason to do it.